Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Hot Wheels 254. It's been a while but we are back. So welcome to another video of us reviewing cars, and this time round we are bringing you massive cars, expensive cars, exclusive cars, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see these cars all the time. So we are located in Mombasa, and there is where we get these cars. So today I'm bringing you the brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prado J250 series, and here is it. I hope you've seen it before I started reviewing it, and I'm going to review it and show you why you should buy this car over even the Land Cruiser ZX and even the 300 series because of its price comparison. So stay with me, follow closely, ask any question in the comment section, and I will barely answer you. So walk with us around and you'll enjoy the video. Thank you. So we'll start with the front profile. As you can see, we have the cool LED lights. We have the indicators here, fog lights, parking sensors. The daytime running lights is up here. Then we have the cool lights there. So high beam and low beam will sit there. The same Prado J250, you can get it with rounded headlights, but here we have this configuration of this rectangular like headlights. Have this grill here with the Toyota. So this way of writing Toyota here is commemorating the Heritage Edition, which used to write Toyota instead of using the normal logo. So it is a plastic front bumper. You can see the approach angle is also okay. There is good ground clearance. Then you have this skid plate, which is very nice. Then you can stick your number plate there. So I think it is looking good. This white looks so nice. Then you also have this gray like color with the black. It contrasts very nicely. So I think that is what you have at the front. Let's check the engine before we go to the rear or to the side profile. So to open the engine, it's pretty simple. You know the normal way of opening these engines. So that is it, guys. You can see from here, this the whole of this part is the bumper, and then the engine sits here. So we have the normal engine, which is the 2.8 liter. We have diesel engine. For this engine, you can see how it is shaking because of the diesel torque. So with Toyota, everything is pretty basic. We have the battery there. We have the booster for the brake. What do you call it? It's called the ABS. I'm sorry. Then you have the place to refill your fluid. Then you have the exhaust manifold. You also have a turbo here. You have here a place to restore your coolant. You have the intake here. We have the fuse and relay box, and also another fuse and relay box, because these are newer cars. They have a lot of technologies. So that is it. You have a place to refill your washer, and that is it. Basically, Toyotas are known for their simplicity and lack of complexity. So they are pretty simple. Even when you take them to the garage, they are pretty simple to do them out. So you also have this cushioning here so that it can be silent. It cannot really shout a lot with the screaming of the engine. So that is it. Let me take you to the side profile, to the rear profile, then we get to the interior and show you why this car is a good car. So guys, welcome to the side profile of the brand new Toyota Prado J250 series. So you can see we have the bonnet. It is very high, almost nearing my chest height, and that is it. You can see it looks very good and elegant. You have this black axe, and then you can see it has wide axe. It is not standard like that way. It has some axe like that. You have this black contrast so that if stones and stuff from the wheels, they cannot damage the paint. This plastic part of it will take care of it. So you can see it is running on massive tires. These are 18-inch. You have the black rims from the company Toyota. Then you have these discs, which is very nice and large. Then you have 4 ports. You have 2 ports in the outer and 2 ports in the inside. So you have 4 ports in the front, and I think 2 ports in the rear. Then you have these large side mirrors. You can see how large they are. You have the sensors here. You also have indicators here, which makes it look so nice. You can see it is very, very large, which looks really good. Then you have the windows here like that. You have they are very large to even minimize this blind spot for the A pillar. Then you have the white color with this black, which contrasts very nicely. You can even tint to bring very good contrast. Then you have this steppings. Have place to jump in. They're very nice. Then you have it's plastic, so when damaged you can easily replace them. Then you have here the sensor for the keyless entry. So that is it, guys. Even the back, it is the same thing. We are running on the same 18-inch rims. At the back you have 2-port and also have the same tires. I think 285, if I'm not wrong. It is running on 265 and 65. So this profile is 65. For off-road you use larger profile tires because this one is an off-road car. So that is it. Let us go to the rear, then I show you the off-road features of this car and why it is really a good car as compared to even the Land Cruiser ZX. So let us go to the rear. So guys, the rear of this Prado is very simple, but I think it is elegant. It looks so nice. You have a wiper here, place to open. So if you want to open the boot, you use that button and open the boot like that. You can use this place to throw in your groceries and stuff like that. So that is it, guys. To close it is pretty simple. It is manual. You close it like that until it bangs like that. Then you have the place to fit your number plate, the way to write Toyota instead of using the logo. I've told you earlier, it is the Heritage model. Then this is a Land Cruiser, but a Prado one. Then you have the spoiler here. Then you have the also a tail light here, a brake tail light. You have the bumper, rear bumper. It looks so nice. It has a main diffuser there. There's an exhaust there, a single one. You have parking sensors all through to make you not crash somewhere. Then you have this cool looking soft LED lights. You have the brake lights, the daytime running lights, the parking lights. They look really nice. Then you have the reverse light and also the indicator there. I really think it looks so nice. As you can tell, it is. So guys, let me show you how to open the boot. I just shown you how to open the place to put your groceries there, just to throw in something. But if you want the larger boot, you want the larger boot there. This one is powered tailgate, so you just press a button, then it indicates and also it rises. There's also a camera back there for your rear view. So that is it, guys. You have a massive boot, but there's this hump here because of the rear diff and also this seat, so it is slightly raised, so it can be an issue while loading your stuff. Then you also have a 12-volt socket here, so you can charge maybe your phone or something like that. There's a 12-volt socket here. There are vents here, there are cup holders like that, as we shall see from the interior. So basically that is it. And if you want to fold your seats, you just use this strap like that. If the second row of seats is pushed to the front, this one will sink in directly. That is it. So if you want to bring it back, just bring it back like that. Then you also have some storage space here. You can put in your here your spares, your spanners and stuff like that, pliers maybe, like that. So that is it. Let us close it with the power buttons, and you can also control the angle that you want it to open using this button here. So let us close it and jump to the interior. This is the interior of the Prado G250. Sorry for the music. So basically you can see how really nice it looks. We have the powered seats. They can see from this place here the controls for the seats. So they are electrically controlled. You can see the beige leather looks really nice from the door bins and stuff like that. You have the place to control your windows and they move really fast. They are auto. Have this place to hook yourself while jumping in. Then you have these AC vents which look really good. Then you have the infotainment screen there, which you can pretty easily control like that. You have your Bluetooth settings, you have your radio and like that. So it is pretty easy to use. Toyota are not really complicated. You can even change your wallpaper, you can use your phone, you can go to Apple CarPlay like that. So you can set your settings there and you're pretty good to go. If you want to put it on or off, there's a place there. Then you have your volume controls there. So this is the newer model, so you can see it is slightly elegant and even has English as compared to the other used models. Then you have here your glove box, just a decent space, not just a decent size, not really massive. and that is it. You also have your leather that is beige in color going all through your dashboard. So that is it. Then you have this also part that contrasts nicely because it is black. Then you come to this section here, your climate control. You have these vents here, they're also really nice. You have your hazard, which is your safety button. You have your so this one is a dual climate zone, I mean tri-climate zone, because the driver has individual climate. This side passenger to the driver has also his own climate zone. Then the rear, they share a single climate zone. So those are three tri-climate. So you have for the rear people, you can control it for them here. Then they can adjust it using their controls there, as I shall show you later. Then you have the heated seats, so the driver and the passenger seat are also heated. Then you have the modes like that, where you want the vents to point, where you want the air to flow to, and like that. Then you have here cup holders. You have two cup holders that are adjustable. Then you have here wireless charging. You have also type C's here, 3 type C's for your charging. So you also have your gear selector. This one is, the gear selector is shorter than for the J120, the previous one. So then you have the mode selector here. So if you can show, if they can see through here, we have sport, we have normal, and we also have eco mode like that. So basically they are your drive mode selector, and you can see if I put sport, it turns red. Then if I put normal mode, it is blue, and if I put eco mode, it is green. So that is it, guys. We have your drive mode selector. Then you have you can start your car with the second gear. Remember, this is a diesel engine, so it has higher torque. You can use the second gear to start. Then you have the crawl mode, which they're pretty used in the off-road to crawl. They use the crawler gears, so it is called hill descent access. So while going down a steep slope, you don't have to use the brake all the time. Just press this button and it will go down the slope on its own. So it is also you can also manual shift this car. You just have it on drive, then you can push it to the manual side and select the gears by moving it forward or back. Then you have the parking brake here. It is electrically the parking brake is electric. Then you also have you can see the way when you drive manual cars, the way it can latch or it can move backwards before you release your clutch. So in these vehicles, just press this button and it can never move until you start moving. You can lock your diff there. You can put off your traction control. These are buttons that there are options that were not in this car. Then you have this so these vehicles are usually 4-wheel full time, so you can use either high 4 or low 4. You can just push it inside, then like that. So this one is the low 4, then back, then high 4 if you want to speed. So like that, then it goes to the front. So that is it. So then here we have the storage space. In some options, you can option for the cooler box, which can cool your drinks. So that is it, guys. You can see here we also have lights for your car like that, which are really good. Then if you're having the sunroof, there could be also some buttons here to open your sunroof. Then you have this cool looking drive mirrors. Then you have the sensors here. Then we have also the good looking sun visors there. We also have vents here, and I believe that is it, guys. So to the steering here, we have it is a decent size steering with the Toyota name here. We have controls for your infotainment screen and also control for your digital cluster here. You can see it is digital. So being a diesel, it drives up to 6 and not 8. Then you have your fuel gauge there. You have your temperature gauge here and like that. So you can see it is a newer car. It has only been driven 1,744 kilometers. So that is pretty new, guys. So that is it. Toyota has not much to offer in the interior other than the good leather that we are seeing. So let us jump to the back row of seats and also see what is offered there. So guys, this is the second row of seats, and this is the farthest position the seat can be. So I might seem to be limited by the space, but the seat is also to the last position it can be. So still it is a decent space, good headroom. I also have AC vents here, so they can blow your face directly. Then we have the climate control here. As I told you earlier, it is a tri-climate. So it is really a good car. We have the also Type-C chargers here, and also a 12-volt socket, so you can plug in pretty anything while at the back. Then you can see how the leather looks really good. The leather is also perforated. You can see it is flat. We also have the hump for the diff. So that is it, guys. There's not a lot in the Toyota. We also have this armrest, which also doubles as a cup holder here. So that is it. You can now talk about the advantages of owning this Toyota as compared to even the 300 series and vehicles like that. So let me go back to the front seats and explain to you why I prefer this one, and you can also opt to buy this one or any of the variants that I can tell you. So let's talk about it. So guys, let's speak about why. Let me turn off the AC like that. So let's talk about why you should prefer this vehicle. So first of all, we have seen that it has the drive mode selector, so it has technology that can be used to be fuel efficient. Then you've seen some few off-road features, so you can be very sure that in Africa, where we are used to bad roads, this vehicle can pretty handle any road. Then we've also seen that it is a newer vehicle with only 1700 kilometers, so you are sure of close to 5 years without any pretty major servicing on the vehicle, despite maybe brakes, tires, and also the oil. So that is it, guys. This vehicle goes for around 20 million as compared to the 300 series that used almost the same things, despite just that their engines are different. So the 300 series that I reviewed earlier uses 3300cc to 3500cc V6 twin turbocharged that produces nearly the same horsepower to this one. Okay, I know it is much than this one, but in Africa we don't really feel the difference of horsepower, so since we do not push these vehicles to the limit, so I still choose this one because it is budget friendly as compared to the 300 series, even though their prices are almost the same. So this one is pretty easier to use because it runs on even springs, normal springs, as compared to the 300 series with its airbag suspension, so which can be damaged in any occasion, maybe during off-road like that. So this one is pretty cheap to manage. So as you can see, it is very massive. It is very good looking. It is a newer vehicle. They are not really much, so you can stay exclusive to the traffic stream. So I'd advise you to pick this vehicle. It is available at Kushi Motors for nearly 20 million, bargainable. So if you prefer this vehicle, you can come and get it. So the top speed for Toyotas are usually limited to like 180, so that is it. So you can come and pick this vehicle and enjoy the drive of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado G250. Thank you, guys.